Good morning guys, it is Thursday today. Don't worry, I do have clothes on. I just thought I'd jump on right now and say good morning, seeing as I was so slow to get started yesterday that it was like lunchtime before I even got on. Just done my makeup, as you can see. Not quite as scary as a bare face, but I have yet to do this. I was supposed to be having my hair coloured this morning, but I cancelled it because I don't have any money. But I think I can probably get away with it. I'll just keep pulling out the grey hairs and hope for the best, I'm sure. Now, up until about 2 minutes ago, the sun was out, and now it's gone grey. I think it's there somewhere. I don't think we're in for another drizzly day. This morning, I am going to have some breakfast. Whilst I'm having breakfast and doing some stuff on my computer, I'm going to get my soft cheese out that I bought yesterday, leave that on the side to soften a bit, then I'm going to cook those goddamn brownies because I need some snack food. Desperately. Sunshine is good. Okay guys, so I'm making my brownies, and so far in here I have 60 grams of unsalted butter and 228 grams of low-fat cream cheese, soft cheese. I've just left that for about 45 minutes just to soften up. And then I have the rest of my ingredients to add in. So I'm going to add in 120 grams of some zero sugar syrup. I've got a mixture of butterscotch and, oh, I'm not even showing you, I've got a mixture of butterscotch and chocolate, so I'll just see how much I've got. I'll go with the butterscotch and then see what I've got in terms of what I've got left. So that's got to go in. I've got to put 1 tablespoon of baking powder in, just regular baking powder. Then I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. I use this one, I really like this one. It's got the little seeds in as well, which is really nice. Then I have some liquid stevia, which is up here. Liquid stevia, looks like this. I just got the vanilla flavour one, but you can use the regular one if you want to. Then liquid egg whites, which are in the fridge. It's 200 and something mil of those, 240 mil. 50 grams of raw cacao powder, and this one. Obviously you use whichever one. I've just about got 50 grams in there. I think I've actually got about 45, so it's going to have to do. The protein I'm going to use is the My Protein Impact Whey Isolate Vanilla, but just ordinary vanilla whey protein is fine. Whatever you've got is really good. If you've got chocolate, I'm sure that would work as well. And then I'm going to break up some bits of chocolate, put it in. So I'll show you what it's looking like right before I put it in the oven. I have mixed all of the ingredients with an electric mix, and then I've just broken up some chocolate, 4 squares of 72%, 75%, or whatever it is, dark chocolate. And then I'm just going to kind of fold that in, mix it in. Don't worry if with this recipe you get lumps of the cream cheese or whatever that hasn't gone in with the mixture. It's fine, when it goes in the oven it sorts itself out anyway. So let's give that a good mix. I'll pop it into that tray and into the oven on 170 for 20 minutes. Right guys, this morning I have been working on some stuff for Leaf Lane Studio. I'm actually going to show you some bits and pieces in a minute. I want your educated opinion on 2 options that I've created, possibly 3 options. So I'm going to show you that if I remember later on. But right now, I've just come upstairs because I've been flattening, let me just rest you there a minute. I've just been flattening off, it's very technical, flash you, it's very technical, I've been doing it under a pile of books. Flattening off the watercolour sample things that I was doing yesterday. So they're there. The thing is with these, wait a minute, I don't want you staring at my chest whilst I'm talking you through this. The thing is with these sorts of patterns and pieces of work is that they're so unpredictable. You can't predict is the word. You can't predict what the paint's going to do. You'll put it on and you'll manipulate it around a little bit, but with watercolour you can't predict what it's going to do. And also it depends on the kind of paper that you're using, because if you're using, I like to use print paper, because print paper, often with printing you soak the paper in water first before you run it through a press. Not every time, but a lot of times, certainly with the kind of printing that I used to do. And so paper like Somerset paper and things like that can hold a lot of water, so it acts very differently with watercolour to how other paper would. Anyway, let me rest you somewhere. I'm really sorry guys, I watch other people's vlogs and I think to myself they're so professional and I feel like a bumbling idiot most of the time. But anyway, so, can you see me? Yeah, you can see me. So, let me show you some examples of what I've been doing. I'm going to do the blue ones first. Okay, so, dead fly. The pieces of work that I'm doing are for, this is very scrappy, bear that in mind, and they're all on different kinds of paper as well, which obviously it's really just to see the colours more than the paper, but I have also done some different things with the watercolour in terms of either wetting the paper first or putting it on dry paper and then blotting it away and all of that kind of stuff. So the first things I'm going to show you, what they're going to actually be for are, they're going to be a background to a hand inked quote. So, as I said the other day, they've got to be quite ethereal in their appearance. I'm thinking that some of this that I've done here are going to be too bright, but then it's going to have black ink over it, so you want to be able to see it. But I will tell the lady when I contact her later that I can make it more watery, so it doesn't have to be as bright. So I've done two colour ranges. I've done a blue and a green together, and a blue and a lilac-y colour together. So this one, I'll just show you the examples. So the colour palette that I used is two colours, cerulean blue and emerald, and then as you add more of one colour to the other colour, these are the ranges of shades and tones. So these are the sort of backgrounds that I've been working on, which they may look like something a 4-year-old could do, and they definitely could, I'm sure. But believe it or not, there is some thought to this process, and also you have to let the paint dry in between. So you're putting down a bit of colour, you're leaving it for hours to dry, flattening the paper, putting on another layer, flattening the paper with this sort of paper. This is Moleskine watercolour sketchbook paper, just so that you know. So this one, I did a bit of a mixture of kind of wetting the paper and dry paper together. But what I really like about this sort of technique, if my phone will focus, is the little kind of marks that you get. I love this. I love this kind of dry puddling of colour and the layers that you can see underneath and over the top. This is one of my favourite things in the world, is this effect. I absolutely love it. And so these are done in a similar way, and you see the difference. So you can't predict what result you're going to get at any point. This one, every time before I painted paint on there, I was wetting the paper and then blotting it dry, or blotting it so it's damp before putting the paint on. So that will change the way in which the paint will behave. But again, I love that, and I love how the colours have kind of merged together, and like I said, you can't predict it. This one was a bit of a mixture again. I think I put the paint on then added water, but this is a bit more kind of, whereas this is a little bit more kind of puddly and patchy, this has been put on in a very kind of like linear, is that the right word, linear way? So I've washed it on rather than kind of like puddled it on, which is quite nice. And then finally I tried a sort of a splashing technique, so it's a bit more unpredictable, and literally getting the paintbrush and splashing paint on, layering it up, splashing, whoa, that's bright, splashing water on, splashing paint on, to get that kind of puddly effect, but it's a lot more kind of white space, I suppose. So that's that colour range. I will use all of these bits of scrappy work as kind of little thank you notes and layers and bits and bobs anyway, so it's never a waste. And then the other colourway is this one. You see that? So cerulean blue through to mauve, and they're the kind of tones you get in between. And I really like that effect actually. So again, I've washed it on, and then it's just kind of behaved in its own way in terms of bleeding out. Oh, you can't see it. There you go. So that's that colourway. Same again in terms of the splashing technique. There you go. So this is a lot more kind of pale, which I can certainly achieve with the blues and greens as well. I just added more water to this to see how light I could get it and how layered I could get it. So that's that. And then finally a more kind of puddly look. So in terms of those, I haven't really spent a great deal of time really building up the layers, because you know these are only samples and I don't want to spend too much time on them, but yeah, happy with those. We'll use them up anyway. So right now gonna do a couple of bits upstairs really quickly, and then I'll try and show you what I wanted you to look at downstairs. Ladies and gentlemen of the jewellery, it's that time again. Tea with my slightly sad husband in the garden. Why are you sad?
I'm sad today because Chris Cornell has died, and he was a proper legend and he was, you know, massive, huge inspiration for
Audio
me.
Slave, Soundgarden.
Yeah.
He was awesome. And he was only 52 and we still don't know what's happened to him yet. It's really sad, but Joe's a bit sad now.
I'm really sad.
He is really sad because he was a proper inspiration, wasn't he?
Yeah, and they were there in tough times, Soundgarden.
Let's go and sit in the garden and get some sun. That'll cheer you up. Right, Gizmo, are you going to come in the garden? Finish your noms then. You made a right old mess, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because you've left 3 biscuits. Why? Looking good over the back. No. Oh well, we'll just hang on until we get rained off. This plant that I planted the other week, guys, do you remember? It's actually opening up. This little salvia. Hello? Hello, Bear. Hello. You come to see the plants? What's this? You come to see the plants? I just had to get Gizmo out of bed. She's like a teenager. She was spending so long in bed. Let's have a little look down the end of the garden. I need to pick up all this palm tree. Look at this. Yes. Oh, that's a nicer view. Much nicer. Colour of that water, guys, is absolutely bloody amazing. Little Gizmo. Hey little Giz, what are you doing? Should probably top up the bird food because they've yet again eaten loads of it. Hello. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're a lazy little teenager. Alright guys, I know I haven't showed you the things I wanted to show you yet, but I'm having a bit of a change of heart and I'm going to have another look at them when I get back and I'll show you then. But right now, as you can probably tell, I'm going to the gym. I needed to just get out of the house and burn off a little bit of energy. I have such severe muscle soreness. Actually, it's not as bad as it was yesterday, but it's pretty severe. But we got to get on with it. I just think I might go a little bit lighter today and just see how I feel. Hopefully it won't be too busy. Excuse the towel in the background. I am back from the gym now and I need a bath desperately. I spent longer in the gym today than I usually do. I was an hour and a half, which I don't know why really. I mean, I was faffing about at the beginning. I did a lot of stretching and mobilisation, so maybe that's why, but it seemed to be a long old session today and I am absolutely, look at that. That's just the front, you should see the back. So I'm gonna go and hop in the shower, bath, whatever, with my cup of tea. Well, I'm not gonna take it in there. I usually, if I run a bath, I'll have my tea because a bath takes about 10 years to fill. I'm gonna go and bath. I'll see you in a bit. Don't wait for me because I might be a while. Don't wait. Look at the colour of that sea. Oh my gosh. So pretty. So pretty. Alright guys, so what I tend to do when Joe and I are sharing a dinner is I'll weigh the total amount of meat that we're going to have, and I'll obviously halve it. And granted, that's going to be a little bit of a guesstimate because obviously we're not going to get exactly half the chicken each when it's all shredded into a bowl of other stuff. But because I'm not, I'm not prepping for anything specific, I'm just, doing my macros for healthy eating and a bit of fat loss. It's not the be all and end all. I'm going to put on, trying not to use my chickeny hand, I'm going to put on some of this Schwartz char-grilled chicken seasoning with pepper and garlic, which is really, really yummy. If you guys are interested in finding something to put on your chicken, definitely give it a go. I'm now going to show you some of the Leaf Lane Studio stuff that I was waffling on about earlier. What I've done is I've designed, in front of me here I've got my save the dates, my invitations and my RSVPs, and I'll show you what I was thinking. Bear with me, let me turn you around. Okay, so obviously these are complete mock-ups, and where you see a pencil line is where the image will be cut, so that's the bleed line there. So the actual pencil line around everything is where it'll be cut. So, save the dates, that's the main save the date-ish. I'm not quite sure about this yet, I'm working on that, so ignore that, but it's the backs that I want to talk about. So that's the invitation, happy with how that looks, that's the RSVP. Happy with how that looks. What I was thinking was, in terms of the back of them, is initially I had thought with the RSVP, because it was a pink kind of thing, I would have the pink going on the back, so that would be the reverse of that, which I kind of like and I'm sort of happy with it. But they don't all need to be identical. But then I've also designed this, which could be on the back, nice and simple. It could have the wedding date in there as well, maybe. But also I have this, and I've got two options for this. So this could be the back of something, maybe the invitation and maybe the save the dates, I don't know. But question number one is, out of these two green ones, do you guys prefer option one, which is the big leaves, or do you prefer option two, which is the smaller leaves? I think I prefer the smaller ones, but I'm not sure. Basically that's picking out, when it's actually printed, it won't be white, it will just be the colour of the card, whatever colour card it is, like a cream or off-white, and you'll see the texture of the card and stuff, so it won't be a white print, just to clarify. And that's picking out the shape of these here. So that's that. Or do I scrap the green idea altogether and just stick with these two designs for the back of things? Because having all three I think is a bit much. Brain fart, please help me. Alright guys, anyway, any thoughts on what I just showed you? It'd be great if you left a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I've got to go because dinner's almost cooked and I've got to give Joe a shout. He's making music in the other room. But yeah, I'll end the vlog here and I will see you guys tomorrow.